All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Hey, this brother Obadiah from New Wine Congregation of Israel. You know, first and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of who the world calls God. Bahashem just means in the name of, and Yahushai is the true name of who the world called Jesus Christ. In the Paleo Hebrew, his name would be Yahushai. So I got a little 6-part series I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna split them up in 6 different videos, but it's just 6 different topics I'm gonna talk about, because my rib, right, she actually work. Her boss was actually trying to talk to her about his beliefs and the things he didn't understand in the Bible or kind of had questions about, and I'm gonna get into these topics because other people may have questions about these same type of topics that this man had questions on. So Lord willing, I'm gonna make a video. I'm finna make start the first topic right here in this video right here, and I'm gonna have get into 5 more. Lord willing, I'm gonna try to make one each day, every day, try to get into one of these topics, man, to get into them. And Lord willing, they're not gonna be long. I'm gonna try to make them as understanding as possible, man, so people can understand it. You know, it's not simple once you get into the Bible and you just read the Bible and go, see what it say and just go with what it say, and it just be simple as that. You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of people like to go out their emotions and how they feel, and then that's when some people try to twist the Bible up because it don't fit their narrative, so they try to twist it up, try to make it fit what they teach or how they feel and things like that, right? So the first one I'm gonna get into is multiple wives lawful in the Bible? Is that something that the Most High God is okay with his men doing? You know, because you hear even in today's time, you looked at it as being different, or people like to say if a man have another woman, oh, he cheated on me. But when you look into the Bible, right, there's no such thing as cheating in the Bible. And then the precept, the verse that a lot of people like to go to in his man, my real boss, he go to Deuteronomy 17:17, right? And I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna break that down to show you what it's talking about. So when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 17, hold up, real quick. Deuteronomy 17:17 says, it's talking about a king, right? It says, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. So what is that saying? Because nobody really necessarily get into the point of what it say about silver and gold. They go straight to see. It say a king can't multiply wives. So is it saying a king can't have silver and gold? Because we know all our kings had silver and gold. You can look into the history. You got to understand, man. When you a king, bro, you gonna have silver and gold. You gonna have a lot of it, right? So what is this talking about when it said a man can't multiply wives? Is it saying that, you know, it's a sin to have multiple wives? Even though these verses I'm finna show you that the Bible, the Most High God is with that. Think about, how did the nation of Israel come about? Right? You had our forefathers, they had multiple women. How would the Most High God allow the greatest nation of all time to come out of multiple wives if it was unlawful? Just think about these things. These are things we need to think about. So when you look into that word multiply, right? In the Hebrew, that word multiply means numerous or many. And I actually did a video about this on my iPad, and I pulled up the word to show you on my iPad. I screen recorded it, but the video deleted. You know, it had too much storage. The video deleted, so I'm doing it like this on my phone, so I'm not being able to pull it up. But you can look it up. That Hebrew word of multiply just means numerous or a lot of. So the Bible not saying that you can't have multiple wives or have a lot of, or have silver and gold. It's just saying that you can't have a numerous of it, because that silver and that gold, if you multiply that, that can become your idol, and you can focus more on that than the Most High God. If you have 1,000 wives and you a king, you gotta understand, a king have certain type of a king have leadership, right? A king have to worry about how to lead this army. He has to judge matters, right? He has to put his people in position to make sure they're okay, right? He got to make sure that everything is in order, because everything is ran by him, mainly the Most High God, but he the one that had to say so. So a king can't have all these different women, right? Because they could turn his heart away from his job. from his leadership. Just look at King Solomon, for example. It was nothing wrong with King Solomon having more than one wife, but the thing about it is he had numerous of them. I think he said he had like 1,000, and they was heathen, and some of them was heathen women. And guess what they did to him? They turned his heart away from the Most High God. They turned his heart away from the Heavenly Father because he had too many of them. You know it's too many of them when you start worshiping them, when you start focusing more on them than on the Most High God. That's when you know, okay, this too much, right? So when they say a king can't multiply wives, that's just talking about a king can't have numerous or a lot. Even David didn't have a lot of wives. Solomon was the one that went OD with it and started getting all these women. And then that's when they turned his heart away from the Most High God. So to prevent that, the Most High God is saying, oh, it ain't nothing wrong with you having silver and gold. It ain't nothing wrong with you if it's lawful, you know, to take another wife if you're gonna provide for her, you know, take care of it. There's nothing wrong with you having another wife. But don't overdo it to the point where I'm the last thing on your mind. You trying to get a woman from each tribe of Israel. The only thing you worry about is women. The only thing you think about is women. You go to sleep thinking about another wife. You wake up thinking about another wife. And you trying to get as many as you can. Don't have that mindset, because you do that, then you gonna turn your heart more likely to be turned away from the Most High God, man. Because that will become idolatry when you getting all these women just for your pleasure and not for the pleasure of the Heavenly Father, man. So that's what Deuteronomy 17:17 saying. We have to look into these words and what they mean. So all it's saying is a man not supposed to, you know, get a numerous amount of women, because a lot of times that's gonna turn their heart away from the Most High God, right? So now I'm gonna show you scriptures in the Bible to show you it's not a sin, even in today's time. It's not a sin to have multiple wives. Polygyny is not a sin. Polygyny is when a man can have multiple wives. Polygamy is when a woman can have multiple husbands and a man can have multiple wives. The Bible don't speak about a woman have multiple husbands, but the Bible do show accounts in the Bible where some of our forefathers, they had multiple wives. It's not a sin in that, man. That's in our nature. Think about it. If you look throughout history, every other race of people, that's in their culture. But America, the so-called white man, he the only person that really pushed monogamy. And there's nothing wrong with monogamy, right? There's nothing wrong with monogamy. If a brother don't want to get multiple wives or have multiple wives, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. But the so-called white man, he mainly the only race of people that push only having one wife. But every other culture, if you go to any other place, every other culture, a lot of other races, they understand that. Some religions understand that, right? Because it's really the way of life, man, for our people. But when you look into the Bible, right? Let me show you some scriptures to prove that, because you have some people try to say that it's a sin. People say that's fornication. But let's see what the Bible say. This the first verse. This the book of now. This is in the law, right? This is in the Torah, the laws and commandments. This Deuteronomy 21 and verse 15. If a man have two wives, so the Bible already saying, okay, this is in the law. The Bible already teaching you how to govern yourself if you decide to get another woman. The Bible said, if a man have two wives, if it was a sin and against the Most High God, why would this be in the law? Why would the Most High God have a law in the Bible to help govern you if you get another woman? That don't make sense. The Bible said, if a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, they have born children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, it's just cut off. But if you keep reading on it, this account basically saying, if a man had two wives, one that he loved and another one he kind of always arguing with and have a disagreement with, because you know the inheritance is supposed to go to the firstborn. It don't matter which wife it come from. The firstborn of one of those of the wives, the firstborn got to receive the inheritance. Now, if your wife that you have a disagreement with or you kind of hate, if she have a child first, you have to give her child the inheritance. You can't be like, well, I don't really get along with her like I get along with my first wife, so I know the one I dislike got a child first, but I'm gonna get an inheritance to the one that I like. I'm gonna give it to her child. No, the Bible said you can't do that, right? You have a disagreement with one of your wives, or you kind of dislike one of your wives and you kind of like the other one better, if that one have a child first that you kind of dislike, you have to still give the inheritance to her child. You can't be messy like that. That's messy and that's madness, right? So the law teach you how to govern yourself if you get another wife. So how would this be a sin and against the Most High God? This Exodus 21:10, again in the Torah, in the Bible. If he take him another wife, so the Bible said, okay, if you take another wife, so it's letting you know that this is what you must do if you take you another wife. Her raiment and her duty of marriage shall not be diminished. So the Bible said, if a brother have a wife already and he know it's in his lot through the Most High, to the Spirit and power of the Most High God, it's righteousness. It ain't out of lust. It ain't out of just getting numerous wives. If this brother truly have a wife already, and he sees something in this other woman, and he started teaching her the word, and he kind of catch feeling for her, and he want to decide to take her as his wife. The Bible said the raiment and the duty of your first or your wife that you had before cannot change. So brothers, you can't get another wife and then just forget about your first wife. The Bible is against that. The Bible said, no, if you have a wife, the Bible said if you have a wife already and you decide to get another wife or another wife after that, they duties can't change. When you providing for your first wife or the wife you had first, if you get another wife, you gotta do that. You can't forget about your first wife and be like, well, I got this other wife, I gotta focus on her now, and you just forget about the one that you had first. No, you gotta be able to provide for them, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. You have to be able to provide for them. And it's not in the sense of you have to be under the same roof as them, right? Some people do that, some people don't. But you have just to make sure that you being able to provide and be there for them when they need you, man. All right. So that's in the Bible. The Bible said that if a man take another wife, so it teach you, because all the law is to teach you how to govern yourself as being Israelites and teach you how to live. So the Bible said the Most High God, he know his people, bro. The Most High God, he know his men. He know that it was gonna come a time where, brothers, because it's in our nature to do that. That's why it's in our nature to do that. You know how you have some men, they have so-called girlfriends, and they go behind the scenes and get with another woman. They call it a side piece. That's it. The brother doing it the wrong way, because he not supposed to do it that way as far as being sneaky with it. It'd be wise to let your woman know ahead of time that you interested in something like this, and let her know so she won't get caught off guard. But it's in men nature. That's why it's hard for a man to just be with just one woman. It's not impossible, but a lot of brothers fall into that, man. They look at it as people call it in the world cheating. Oh, he cheated on me. He cheated on me. He stepped out on me. That's nowhere in the Bible. Where we get these are American terms, right? And that's why it's hard for a lot of our women, which I understand this. I'm not faulting our women. I know it takes a lot of our women time to concept this, because we've been taught our whole life that if a man have a wife and he like another woman, that's cheating. We've been taught that. We've been Americanized. So I understand how to our women and some of our men too, I can see how they like, man, I don't know, bruh. It's hard for me, to understand this, because that's what we've been taught our whole life. If you've been taught something your whole life, it may be kind of hard for you to process it, but we have to understand this is the law. This is what the Most High God said. This ain't what Obadiah said. These are not my words. We can't be offended at the law. The law said there's something lawful. We can't try to say that it's a sin if the Most High God never said that, because that's us going against the Most High God, man. Because the Most High God said it is a righteous thing if it's done righteously, right? If it's done decently in order, it's a beautiful thing. Our forefathers did it. You had the righteous man, David. David was a righteous man. It said David was after the Most High God's heart. And David had multiple wives. But you had men that only had one woman that was mighty too. So I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with brothers just wanting or preferring one woman right now. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, if brothers decide or it's in a spirit and they able to have more than one woman, it's not a sin. And the reason why I also wanted to make this video, it was a brother that actually, you have brothers that actually saying King David was off because he had multiple wives. They basically said he not accepted in the Most High eyes because he had multiple wives. He went off, brothers basically saying. He was going off for taking these wives and he not accepted in the Most High God's eyes. You have people actually saying this about King David. We ain't never on King David level. So how are we going to say that King David was off for having multiple wives? And the Most High God, and you know this too in the Bible, the Most High God, he never judged no one for having multiple wives, if you know that. The only time he really judged David was when David slept with another man's wife. That's adultery. That's when the sin come in. The sin is not if a man have a wife already and he want to take a single woman in. That's not adultery. Adultery is when a man, this in the Bible, this is the definition in the Bible. Adultery is when a man lay down with another man's wife, and adultery would be if a woman lay down with another man. Because in the Bible, a woman is not allowed to have multiple husbands, because a woman's body not even made for that, man. And I don't want to get too explicit, but a woman's body is not made to have multiple rods inside her, man. And you know, a lot of women are more emotional than men. That's why men are able to do it, and women to get too emotional, man. And that's okay, because that's just in women nature. The Most High made us different. Men ain't really as emotional as women is. Well, that's why the man is supposed to lead the woman in righteousness, because we think more logic. A lot of times women think with their emotions, but men think more logical. So that's why the Most High God said that we are over the women in righteousness, meaning we have to be ruling in righteousness, man, because we think more logical, and that's true, man. But people say want to speak on David, but I'm gonna get a verse going into that though. But check this out. This 1 Samuel 1 and 2. This going into Elkanah, and he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. So that's going into another one of our forefathers that had more than one wife. So I'm pulling these out to show how can it be a sin, and how can it be a sin if you see many of our forefathers, you know, doing this, and they not getting punished by the Most High God. And we know when the Most High God upset. When you read the Bible, you know when the Most High God upset. He'll punish Israel in a heartbeat when we do something wrong. But he never in the Bible punished a man for taking another woman, unless it's another man's wife. He never do that. Why? Because it's not a sin. It's not against the Most High God. Right? It's not against the Most High God, man. And there's nothing wrong with it when it's done decently in order. A man is not supposed to lay with the women at the same time, though. You can't do no threesomes, right? You know how some people do that, and they get in these, but that's polygamous. In these relationships, the man and he get 2 wives, and they all sleeping together, and the women kissing the women. That's not how it's supposed to do. These women are sisters. They are sister wives, right? So a man can't allow these 2 women to uncover themselves and cover each other's nakedness. That's madness, and that's lustful. You know, so it's a certain way it has to be decently in order. Now, this is our mighty forefather David, a righteous brother. This 2 Samuel 5 and 13. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron. And there were yet sons and daughters born to David. So David took more wives. And David was a righteous man. The only time he offended, that the Bible said, the only time he offended the Most High God was when he did what he did with Uriah the Hittite. He slept with Uriah the Hittite wife and got Uriah the Hittite killed. And I'm gonna show you that in the Bible. It say that literally in the Bible. Check this out. This is the book of 1 Kings chapter 15 and verse 5. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, and he turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. So the Bible said David was righteous. David did everything the Most High God told him to do. But the only thing he offended in was what he did to Uriah the Hittite. So, but if multiple wives was a sin and against the Bible, why is it that it didn't say he offended by taking more wives? I'm trying to think about this stuff, man. And the reason why it's hard for a lot of people to comprehend, like I say, I understand. The reason why it's hard for a lot of people to understand and they go against it is because we not used to it. We wasn't taught this. If we was taught from our youth up that, no, it's not a sin. If we were taught that men can have multiple wives, it wouldn't be hard for our women to comprehend because we've been taught that. We understand it's normal to us. Just like when we say righteous sex is marriage. If we was taught at a youth, right, at our youth, that righteous sex is marriage when a man and have understanding lay down with a woman that have understanding of of marriage. Once they lay down with each other, they married. Y'all married. Y'all don't have to go to the courthouse and get no certificate. The man don't have to get on one knee and say, and the woman say I do, and he give her a ring. That's not marriage according to the Bible. And I'm gonna do that's one of my topics. I'm gonna do a video on. Marriage in the Bible is when a man and a woman had sex. That what sealed the marriage. They had sex with each other and they was married. And I'm gonna show you that in my other video. And they also, sometimes some of them had ceremonies to let the people know that they was married. But we've been so Americanized to the point where we think you have to have a certificate or you have to get on one knee and and marry her and give her a ring. No. See, if a lot of our women was taught at a young age that the first man you lay down with is your husband, a lot of our women out here wouldn't just be laying down with any other man, because they'd be like, I know if I lay down with this man, I gotta be with this man forever. I can't put him away at all unless only time I can remarry is when he died. If our women knew this, they wouldn't be out here just sleeping around with all these different men. So we trying to break the chains off our people's mind to understand this law, man. Cause we've been so westernized, man, to the point where everything that we taught is, and we learned that certain things is okay, that we've been taught that was kind of not of the norm. It'd be hard for us. It'd be hard. But we gotta understand what it's of the will of the Most High God. This is what the Most High God said, not what we say. So it said David only offended one time during that time of Uriah the Hittite. Hold up real quick. Let me see something real quick, y'all. Salaki. I think I turn this way. Make sure real quick before I start back. On the way to camp, man. Spreading this word. All praise to the Most High. Hey, we got to wake up in these last days. We the Israelites. We must come back to our God. We must repent. We can't be offended of what the Most High God said. We can't be offended of this law. Because if we offended what the Most High God said, He gonna look at us as an enemy. Even the brothers that only want one wife, we still can't be offended at the law. The Most High God said it's okay for a man to take another wife. If He said that, we can't be offended at what the law say, even if you don't want multiple wives. Right? And that'd be the hardest thing for our sisters, man. That'd be the hardest thing for that was the hardest thing for my real. In the beginning, man, I was talking to her about it. I don't really talk to her about it that much, because she already know. I was like, hey, if it's in my life, if it's in my life, I'm open to it. I let her know that I'm open to it. If it's of the Most High, if He send me another wife, I'm open to it. You feel what I'm saying? At first, it was hard for her because she was never taught that. It's like, dang, it basically be the sharing the man. Like, I don't want to share a man. I gotta share a man. But everything is spiritual, man. Everything is spiritual. If you pray and fast on it and talk to the Most High about it, He will give you understanding. He will get you out that spirit. It ain't like I say, I don't blame the brothers or I don't blame the sisters, because that's just what we've been taught. We've been taught that, it's a sin. And notice how it's crazy, because in America you can have two men marry each other, but you can't have a man have more than one wife on a certificate if you go to the courthouse. That don't make sense. So you marrying gay men, but you saying it's wrong for a man to try to come out there and get 2 wives on a marriage license. That's how backward this world is. And this is one reason why the so-called white man, he don't push polygyny, because we gonna multiply. And you got to understand, this is why abortions is pushed. This is why they got abortions. Even when you go back to the time of Egypt and during the time of the Greek captivity, Egypt, you know, Pharaoh killed the firstborns. Y'all can look into this. Pharaoh killed the firstborn of our men because we was increasing more than them. They was like, man, we got to kill these Israelites, but they growing more than us, and they might try to overcome us. That's the white man fear that to this day. Just imagine if men was having more than one wife, how many babies they would have? How many babies they'll have? Think about that. The white man, like, I can't have these, and they know that we are a sexual people, man. Right? They know even in the time of Egypt, we was having babies during the time of captivity. None ain't changed. It's nothing new under the sun. So they fear like, dang, but they gonna have way more children than we already. It's already more of us than them now. But if brothers was getting more than one wife and having children with them, we'll overpopulate the world. And they're like, we can't have that, so we gonna tell them that it's unusual to do that. We gonna tell them if a man get with another woman, that's cheating. So that it's all crafty counsel. It goes back to that Psalms 83, man. They took crafty counsel against our people. But this is our culture, bro. This is in our blood to do this. And like I said, not all of us. I'm not pushing this. I'm not saying that brothers have to do this. I'm not saying this, but I'm saying that it's not a sin. It's in our culture. You can't deny this. It's not in our blood for our men to do this. So check this out. I'm definitely not pushing nothing on brothers, man. Like I said, if brothers only want one wife, that's cool. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Brothers still mighty, whether a brother got more than one wife or a brother just got one wife. Brothers keeping the commandments, brother, you mighty, bro. Do what you do. Do what's best for you and your household. Everybody's household, everybody's situation is different. You know what I'm saying? So do what's best for your household. So I'm gonna get a couple more precepts. I'm gonna close out on this topic. More proof. This is the book of Judges, chapter 8 and verse 30. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body, begotten. My bad. It said, and Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. So our forefather Gideon, he had many wives, man. He had many wives, and I'm bringing this out just to show that it's not a sin. This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 3. And he had 700 wives. Now this is Solomon, he had 700. That's why I say, that's what the law in Deuteronomy 17:17 say, don't get numerous. In the kingdom of heaven, brothers gonna be having a lot, bro. That's what I'm saying. In the kingdom of heaven, it's gonna be the same thing. The law not gonna change in the kingdom of heaven. So if you can have multiple wives now, it's gonna be the same in the kingdom. Brothers gonna be able to do that in the kingdom. But right now, 700 wives, bro. And the Bible is made for our learning's sake, right? We look at these scriptures, and these scriptures are made for our learning's sake. You look at the mistakes that our forefathers and foremothers made and learn from them. You know, he was a king. Yes, he was able to provide for him. He had money. He was a king. Solomon was getting gold and riches brought to him. He had everything. But all these women, with all them women came all different guys that was with these women. And most of probably a lot of them weren't even in the truth, because he loved the heathen women. So they wasn't in the truth. They wasn't keeping no commandments. So they ain't care nothing about no Sabbath day. They ain't care nothing about no dietary law, about our commandments. They didn't care nothing about that, because they had their own gods and their own beliefs. And they was pushing that on Solomon. That's why the Most High God said not to make marriages with these other nations. Interracial marriage is against the Most High God. He said, don't do that, because these other nations, they'll turn your heart away from the Most High God. You're gonna try to keep the Most High God high holy days in the Bible, Passover, Feast of Tabernacles, destruction of Nicanor, Purim. You're gonna try to keep these days that the Bible commands us to keep, but you have a white woman or something, she gonna still want to keep Christmas. She gonna still want to keep Thanksgiving. She gonna still want to keep Valentine's Day, them pagan holidays. and she gonna turn your heart away from the Most High God. Because a lot of men, they do whatever they women say anyway to make her feel good, to make her feel okay, and they'll celebrate Christmas knowing it's wrong just to make her feel good. And that's probably more likely 9 out of 10 what Solomon was doing with these women. He knew it was off, but he wanted to make them feel good, right? He didn't want to hurt their feelings. So let me get this precept real quick. I'm finna pull up to my destination to get my brothers. We finna head to camp. We be in Valdosta, Georgia, man. We be in the 229 South Georgia, man. If anybody in the area, man, let us know. This the book of dang, that was all the precepts. I thought it was one more. But yeah, man, this is the first topic, going into multiple wives. Is it a sin to have multiple wives? Not at all, man. Brother, just make sure when you decide to do this, make sure that you pray and fast on it. Don't just out of haste do this, right? You know, because these are women, man. You know, these are women that you're gonna be with for the rest of your life. You gotta be there for them. So make sure that you're able to do it and you love these women. And make sure that it ain't out of no vain imaginations. Make sure that you really, really, really want to do this because you love the Most High God, man. And I would say that I used to say this too before I close out. I used to tell brothers, you know, it's not a sin, but it's not expedient, meaning it's not good to do right now because we're in captivity, and it's not necessarily good to have multiple wives right now because we're in captivity. But everybody's situation different. You know, I can't really say it's expedient because to another brother, it may be like, hey, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to be there for these women, provide for these women. I'm able to love these women. Some brothers can't do it. Everybody, it all depends on that person, bro. Everybody different. Israel different, man. You know what I'm saying? We are different, man. So this was the lesson through the Spirit and power of the Most High God. Lord will, I can do the other lesson. I'm gonna get into lawful sex is marriage, the next topic, and then the next topic after that, I'm probably gonna get into who is salvation for, because people say salvation is for everyone. I'm gonna show in the Bible by the Bible. I'm gonna show the precepts. I'm gonna read them out. I'll make it as simple as possible. I'm gonna try to make it as simple that a third grade can understand it, that salvation is only for the nation of Israel. So yeah, man. So yeah, got a brain fart. Take the brother real quick. So yeah, man. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai. Brothers and sisters, I'm gonna say this again before I close out. We cannot be offended at this law. The law, if you offended at the law, that means you offended at what? You offended of the Most High God, because the Most High God made this law for us, right? And if we dislike what it say, certain things that it say, we may have a disagreement on, dislike. We gotta take it up with the Most High God. We gotta take it up with the Heavenly Father, man. So I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai. Yahweh is the name of who the world called God. Bahashem, meaning in the name of. Yahweh Shai is who the world called Jesus Christ. Y'all have a mighty beautiful day, man. Israel got next. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Shalom, and repent and keep the commandments.